Robert Eggers is back. Robert Eggers is one of those rare directors that has found mainstream success today in the sense that he is not exactly mainstream. A lot of his movies are kind of on the fringe of being mainstream and also extremely weird, which is code for indie. The Lighthouse was an absolutely awesome movie with two mainstream actors, being Willem Dafoe and Robert Pattinson, but it kind of flew under the radar still, which is very, very sad because it is such a risk-taking and creative movie. The aspect ratio is really unfamiliar to most modern audiences. The fact that it's in black and white, the subject matter, the fact that it is extremely hard to interpret, all these things, and somehow he's still getting work as like an A-list director. One of the very few directors that is able to walk that thin line. I love his aspect of being totally committed to historical accuracy, particularly with the dialects of his characters that are in his films, and the cinematography using natural light, all that good stuff. He really knocked it out of the park with The Lighthouse. I haven't seen The Witch because I'm very particular with the horror movies that I watch because I'm kind of a wimp. But I was very excited to see Nosferatu. I know that it is a horror movie, but in a way I kind of viewed it almost as like a psychological thriller. I didn't view it as like a pure horror movie. So does Robert Eggers knock it out of the park with Nosferatu? More or less. The draw to this film, of course, is that Bill Skarsgård, Pennywise himself, was playing Count Orlok, and he definitely nails it out of the park, particularly with his voice. "'Tis a black omen to travel in poor health." Apparently, Bill Skarsgård worked with an opera singer to get his voice down to that quality of like the I obviously can't do it, but Bill Skarsgård can, and I think that you really missed out if you didn't see this one in theaters because his voice and the way that it was like reverberating around the theater and shaking your seat. I mean, it felt like he was all around you. And that definitely is the quality that they were going for. This movie was extremely anxiety inducing. Some horror movies are just like pure fear, but this one was really good at just like making you feel uneasy and tense. I actually took note at one point when I was in the theater. I took note of like, I was like, oh, I've been kind of like leaning back for like an hour. Like I've been trying to escape for like an hour. I also noticed I was kind of like playing with my nails. I was just like, or like not even realizing how long I was doing that for like over an hour. The acting is perfection. Lily Rose Depp does an amazing job as kind of like I guess you could say she is the main character. Kind of the whole movie kind of revolves around her. But then you could say Nicholas Hoult is the main character, and then you could equally say that Count Orlok is the main character. So it's kind of interesting in that sense that it gives equal weight to all three of those characters. She does an amazing job, though. Willem Dafoe, of course, knocks out of the park, playing his signature role as the weird guy. But, you know, in this movie, everybody's weird. A standout that I feel like is not talked about enough is Count Orlok's little sidekick. Well, I wouldn't really call him his sidekick, but his servant. The actor who plays him does an incredible job. Like, he is almost as disturbing as Count Orlok. Like, you feel like I do not want to be in the same room as this guy. I guess my biggest complaint with this movie is that there isn't a steady increase of tension. Like whenever I think of a film that does a really good job of sort of like slowly piece by piece building up the terror, I think of The Shining. Nosferatu, it was kind of more like this. Like it had like really intense fear and then it just kind of lost its focus and then really intense fear and then it kind of came back to like a different storyline. I kind of wish that it had this sort of like, you know, angle of just going up and up and up until it climaxed to this like terrifying, like the most terrifying moment of the film or like the most dramatic moment of the film. And it does that to a certain extent, but a common complaint that I've read about online about this movie is that it ends very abruptly, and I would agree with that. It is a wrap up. It is satisfying in the conventional sense, but there isn't really like there's no come down, you know, like in screenwriting terms you have the resolution and then it has to kind of like the movie has to wrap itself up, you know, and it doesn't really do that. It just kind of like resolves itself and then cut to black. So, you know, in modern day I'm sure there'd be like oh, well, that's preparing us for Nosferatu 2, which doesn't at all roll off the tongue. But that's not Robert Eggers' style, thankfully, and he's moving on to another horror movie. So that's not going to happen. So this is what we're left with. It doesn't take away from the overall experience of the movie. I just wish that there had been more of a more of a like, okay, well, let's tie up these threads. Definitely check this one out. Definitely watch it at home, rent it, watch it in the dark with all the lights off when everyone's gone to sleep by yourself so that you are properly disturbed. Definitely check it out, if not just for Bill Skarsgård's performance. And I'm going to give this one a 7.8 out of 10. So have you seen Nosferatu? What did you think about it? Whatever your thoughts are, let me know down in the comments below. Thank you so much, everybody, for watching. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next cinematic adventure.